I'm Seth with According to Seth. Today, I'm joined by Willem Lee and Carolyn Bracken to talk their new film, Oddity. How are you both doing today?
Thanks. Yeah, very good.
The
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I saw the movie at Overlook Film Festival. It scared the living crap out of me. Me and my friends screamed a few times, so thank you for that.
Good.
Uh,
That's what you want to hear.
so the first question I wanted to ask you guys, was there a moment for either of you during filming that legitimately scared you? Because there's quite a bit of good jump scares in there.
So much of jump
Um,
scares, I suppose, are like in the edit and in the kind of post production of it. So it wasn't so scary. But I do remember we were shooting in Bantry House, which is like a 400-year-old kind of stone wall building in the middle of West Cork, and we had a few night shoots, and they were like kind of creeping around some of the darker corners of the house. Were on your own, were a little bit creepy at times.
hmm,
Like,
What about you, Carolyn?
yeah. Uh, there was one. It was again a night shoot. I think it was the very last night, and it was the scene with Tig, who plays Olin Boole, and that trap door, that little shutter. Um, I was rehearsing and looking, and Tig played a prank on me and shoved it across very quickly, and I got a bit of a fright, so that was fun. That's one that I remember. And then just as Gwilym said, just being outside in that courtyard at night with a torch, even though you're performing and there's a camera on you and stuff, it's just when you're shining the light on something, you're like, just please don't be anything there, please don't be anything there. There was those moments every now and again, even though it's performance, it's not real.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
that's really cool. I didn't realize that you guys actually filmed at that property, because that property definitely would have given me the heebie-jeebies if I was doing that at night.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it's so beautiful during the
Mhm.
day, and then at night it's just a different story.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome. Was what was your first reaction to seeing the Oddity mannequin? Like, did anyone play any tricks on either of you with it?
No, I think we all had a very healthy respect for the wooden man.
Yeah.
We kind of left him alone. He kind of took his position at the head of the table, and we all just kind of milled around him and got on with our work. But he was definitely an ominous presence initially, and then I think we all got used to him after a while, and yeah, he felt different to what you would imagine him to feel like. But he was very cool. He was brilliantly made. Um, yeah, it's cool.
There was a lot of build up to his arrival as well. There was kind of like, there was a big kind of countdown to when he would actually appear on set. Because obviously he's such a significant character in the film. And there was so
Mm.
much time and effort that went into making him as well. So when he did arrive, it was almost like it was, the kind of A-list celebrity number one on the call sheet. It felt like we had to treat him with respect.
Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome. I know the thing is definitely creepy. They had I don't know if it was the real one or if they had like a replica at Overlook Film Festival, but they had one and they put it in different areas, and then during our screening they put it in the front row. So that was cool.
Oh, nice. That's great. Yeah, yeah. It's been a hit, actually. We went to South by Southwest with the film, and the Wooden Man came with us, and everyone at the end of the film was going to have their photos taken with him. And yeah, yeah, he's very popular with the crowds.
In the oddity shop, I know there was a bunch of different items in there. Was there anything that you guys wanted to keep, or was anything else that was haunted in that shop considered for the film?
Um, yeah, we were asked this before, and for the life of me, I know that at the time there were so many things that we all wanted in that shop. But ultimately, what I ended up going home with was the chest that contained the wooden man. So I went home, I took that home, but didn't manage to nab anything from the from Darcy's shop, unfortunately. I think a few people got their hands on a few bits and pieces, but yeah, no, I ended up going home with the treasure chest.
You got the best one.
Yeah.
It's now filled with costumes and Nerf guns, you know?
Perfect. What about you, Will?
I no, I didn't. I No, I didn't take anything. There was some really cool things in there. There was like a hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil little monkeys that were really cool. But
Oh
I don't know.
yeah.
I didn't steal them. I know that Damien has a kind of real intrigue and fascination with objects, and they play a
Hmm.
big part in the two films that he's made so far. And I have no doubt that he will have looked at the props in that room that day and probably written about 100 scripts in his head already. So yeah, yeah,
It's for the next one.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Your character, Ted, is a very mysterious character and kind of keeps things close to the chest. How difficult is it to portray a character like that? And are there any particular moments that you want people to look out for in the film that might allude to his actions and what he's done without, really getting into spoilers here?
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I suppose it was always a kind of performance and a story arc, character arc that we wanted to kind of give a lot of nuance to, and we wanted it to be the kind of film that you watch back a second and third time and maybe pick up some little cracks in the armor and see a little glimmer of who he really is. But as we were kind of getting into the film, it became quite apparent that the way to go about it was to kind of grant him, Ted, the ability to be a really good actor, and actually he can wear the mask very convincingly. Um, I suppose like some moments that I think you might be able to kind of see through the mask is when he's kind of playing on Darcy's weakness, I suppose,
Mhm.
and kind of playing the role of the caring doctor, but in so doing, he's really kind of manipulating her and gaslighting her and getting her to doubt her own convictions. So those kinds of moments, I hope, might kind of bear fruit on second and third viewings. But and there are many others as well, but it's difficult to kind of talk about without
Yeah.
giving too much away. Yeah.
I'm excited to see it again and to look out for those different things because I
Yeah.
honestly didn't see it coming and it took me by surprise.
Oh, good. Oh, great. That's very good.
Cool.
You both, oh, go ahead. Sorry, Carol.
No, I was just saying cool that yeah, you didn't catch it. That was great.
Yeah. Definitely kept me on the edge of my seat. And speaking of arcs, you both had really good character arcs, especially, with your character Darcy. Um, you know, how did you like no matter what you wanted to ensure Ted didn't get away scot-free. So how do you think she would feel with how things turned out? And do you think, the character knew that Ted was gonna have that curiosity and would get the better of him?
I think she would feel great.
Mm.
And well, it's kind of funny because Damien leaves it still a little bit open as to what Ted's fate might actually be.
Hmm.
Um, but I think Darcy wanted to get the right person in the end because in her haste for revenge, she targeted maybe the wrong person. So I think she didn't want to get it wrong a second time. So that would be my opinion that it didn't end well
Yep.
for our
What's fun?
protagonist
What's
or
fun about?
antagonist. I mean,
Oh, sorry, Carolyn. Sorry. But
sorry.
what's fun about watching it with an audience is that I think they take the same amount of glee as Darcy would at the end. Like it was really fun watching this with a crowd at festival at Southwest Festival because there was a cheer at the end of the film when kind of you know Ted
Yeah.
gets it. And it's really fun, like seeing the audience seeing the film being handed over to an audience and seeing it in their hands and just seeing how they respond to it in ways that we probably didn't expect. There are laughs that we didn't expect at certain points, and certainly there's so much fun in seeing people dealing with the tension and the fear. So yeah, it's a great one to watch with an audience, I think.
Definitely. I
Mm.
agree with that. Our audience definitely cheered at the end with that big surprise. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
um,
Great.
Carolyn, what was the biggest challenge of playing two characters? And is there anything that you learned about yourself that will help you for future projects?
Oh God, yeah. I suppose, when I read the script at first and I saw the challenge of playing two roles, I was like, yeah. And then I got the role and I went, oh God, how am I going to do? How am I going to pull this off. But I think I discovered, particularly on this job, is that you're not building it on your own. You just aren't, and I learned that every role is a complete collaboration. You're not lone wolfing it. So particularly for, building the two characters, I knew that, like Damien had written a brilliant script. His communication and just his knowledge of the genre, I just felt in safe hands that I could build these characters with all the help from him. And then just the other departments coming in, I found that costume and hair and makeup and production design just really helped just put flesh on the bones of Darcy and Danny, in order to be able to create kind of legitimate people. And then just, between Darcy and Danny themselves, with them being sisters, being twins, but yet never really meeting in this hour and a half that we experienced this story. It was important that that the heart between the two of them and that fierce love and loyalty was established, from both of their ends, because I suppose it, for Darcy, we need to see the fierce love and loyalty that they both have for each other in order for it to make sense of the rest of her journey throughout this story. So yeah, that was very important, just establishing the love and the fierce loyalty that they have to each other, particularly Darcy.
That's great. And the makeup and the hair was honestly fantastic, because I didn't realize you were playing two people at first. And then it kind of like all hit me. So hats off to that department.
Yeah, they did an amazing job, didn't they? Like they honestly really made the job a lot easier for me. And that's a lot of what I learned from this role, is that you're not alone at all.
Yeah.
You are building it together with a lot of other people. So, to lean into that more.
Kind of talking more about Damien. I know he really showed what he was capable of with this one, and obviously caveat. But the second film, I mean, the jump scares, everything about it, it honestly was very reminiscent of Mike Flanagan. So, like, tell me a little about the process of working with him. Like, how was all of that?
He's just a bit of a he is a bit of a whiz, and is a kind of expert it feels he's an expert in the field of horror. He knows the genre inside out, and he knows it to an extent where he feels confident enough to play around with the genre and play around with the kind of craft within the film as well. So that big sequence at the end, you kind of know what's coming, but he really ekes it out, draws it out, and plays with the idea of building tension. And he's just got confidence already. In his second film, you can see it, and it's just really exciting to see what he's going to do next. And I think that's one of the things I've loved most about this film, is kind of being a part of the early stages of his journey, because I'm so excited to see his progression. He's fantastic.
What about you, Carolyn?
Yeah, like just repeating what Gwilym said. He's just a very, very nice person who is just really competent in the genre. And for someone like myself, who is an admirer of horror and really enjoys consuming it, I'm not a scholar of it, and I'm not, you know what I mean, in comparison to you guys who just live in it. I felt very safe with him. I felt that he knew what he was doing, whilst being able to be completely collaborative as well, So I think he had a firm hold in both camps of knowing exactly what he wanted, but being collaborative with his actors as well and with his crew. So he creates a very lovely atmosphere on set. He's a humble sound guy, who knows what he's doing. And it was lovely. It filtered down to everyone. It was a very fun set to be on.
That's awesome. It sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Last question I had for both of you. So I love talking movies. It's how I connect with people, and I think it's kind of like a great way to bridge the gap and introduce somebody to who you are as a person. So what is one movie that each of you recommend as a way for somebody to get to know you and understand you better?
Oh
wow. My God.
That's tricky. I mean, I watched The Big Lebowski when I was a teenager, and absolutely fell in love with it and watched it. I've watched it more than I've watched any film ever, and kind of with a group of friends as well. I watched it with my buddies at schools, and that became like a film that we quoted on a daily basis, and just kind of informed our friendships and our kind of personalities, I suppose. So yeah, that's pretty high up there for me, I'd say.
Great
Um,
movie.
Yeah.
I suppose going just from what you were saying, Gwilym, about being young and films, then I think Stand by Me.
Great film.
Yeah, like Stephen King, you know what I mean? Dead body in the woods, let's go find it. You know, I I I I absolutely, it was one of those movies that I watched repeatedly when I was a kid, and it was a coming of age. I know it was for boys essentially, kind of a coming of age thing, but there was identification in it at the age in which I saw it, and just that curiosity over over the scary stuff. And that curiosity is always, yeah, you know, it goes to the macabre, it goes to the dark stuff. So yeah, I'm constantly seeking out dead bodies in the woods. So,
I,
be that,
that
take from
explains.
that what you will.
I was wondering why you were doing that, Carolyn. I thought it was a bit, yeah.
Listen,
Somebody had to do it, right?
orienteering,
And
orienteering is my bag.
I'm just bowling and drinking White Russians the whole time. So between us.
Sounds like everybody
There
had a
you
great
go.
time there.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
thank you both so much for the time today. I really appreciate you meeting with me. Is there any last things that you would like to tell people about this movie before they go check it out?
It's a film to be watched in a crowd. It's so much fun. Like that's something we picked up on when we were in South by Southwest. Watching it with people, seeing their reactions, and like feeling the fear and tension in the audience was like it was so much fun, and it's one to definitely go and check out in the cinema.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's a riot.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, guys. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Seth. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Beth. Thank you.